And welcome to the masterclass, the virtual masterclass on how to reduce employee turnover costs and what business owners need to know. And it's not just know during pandemic or recession or bad times, but it's also good times. So these are tips, tricks, strategies to implement. So 30 minutes and you'll get way more value than 30 minutes. So buckle your seats and hang on. And we've got 5 experts today, and I'll cover the objective, really the goal, and how I came up with this program, the 5 presentations, and then next steps. It's going to be really simple. So we are going to look at areas of your company that you can use to expand, start, or even stop to retain employees. And it's also cutting down on those hiring costs. And the reason I came up with this is because right now we are in a pandemic, and things are start to leveling out for businesses. It's not so volatile, but what's going to happen is there's a lot of employees that are rethinking about where they want to go, and you're going to get a lot of movement in your talent pool that you probably don't know is going to happen, such as there has been an increase in domain purchases on the .me domains because people are thinking about leaving or starting a side hustle, which is fine, but make sure you're protected as a business owner. And so that's the purpose of this call today, is to make sure that you are offering those benefits, those items that will, keep those employees there, because to replace an employee is very costly. We have 5 experts in the industry, and I'm at the far right. I'm Kim D. Snyder. I'm CEO and founder of Online Marketing in a Box, and we do business growth and strategy. And so I wanted to pull experts in from all areas that can help provide the information that we need as business owners and business leaders and HR, entrepreneur, whatever leadership position you have in a company, so that we can make sure that we have a successful business that is here for years to come. Okay. 4 areas we're going to cover here. And the 4 areas are: how do we utilize what we have, and how do we expand those existing resources to get the most of our investment and time that we, did the research and commitment to. And then, other areas that you might not think about, but how do we partner with others? And this might be something that you're doing, or maybe you pause, but an opportunity of where to look for that. And then securing those key assets. People often overlook this area of their business. And so we'll have Danae will cover that. And then finally, I will look at covering some of the areas what you need to plan on what you need, and some areas that you didn't think about that would help you, such as marketing. Okay, utilizing what you have. You already have benefits, but are you using them the best that you can? Are you helping your people out the best that you can? And our first 2 experts are going to share areas that you can really utilize and start looking at in more depth. And it could be anything from, the culture, the education, performance. And so I'm going to let them cover those first areas. And the first one we have is Kate Musil, and she is a business performance advisor from Insperity. So Kate, please share with us what employers can do to keep and attract those employees.
Hi, thanks, Kim. As Kim said, I'm Kate Musil with Insperity, and at Insperity, we help businesses with the people part of their business. So anything regarding their employees from a human capital management standpoint. And one of the things we go over with our clients, because we want to make sure they understand, is that attracting and retaining the right employees is really a key area for their revenue growth. So how are those related? Well, it really all starts with a company's culture. So the best companies to work for have cultures that inspire people every day. So every company has a culture. Is a company's culture set up by design, or is it by default? So a company's culture is a result of the mindset of the leadership and the employees. So you want to create a culture where people want to come to work. It is a positive environment. You want to be an employer of choice. You want to make sure that your company culture is something employees want to be a part of. They are drawn to, so that you're not taking those quality employees that could be working for your company and making you money, and they're walking next door and going to your competitor to make them money instead. So how do you create this company culture where everyone wants to work there, like Google, without setting up a ping pong table and a big plastic slide? Well, it all starts with recruiting. So when you're recruiting for employees, you want to find employees that have the skills that you need to fill the job, but you also want to make sure that they are a behavioral and a cultural fit. You want to make sure that their values align with your company's values. So in order to do this, when you're thinking about the position that you're going to fill, you want to develop a picture of what the person in that role is going to look like. What behaviors do they have? What experience do they have? The education, the skills, and the personality. Who's going to be right for this job? Then you can really tailor your interview questions to reflect and uncover those types of things about your applicants to make sure you're finding someone that's the right fit for your company and your culture, not just someone who has the right skill set, because bad hires can be costly. So 69% of bad hires lower a company's productivity. And obviously they're going to affect overall morale. 1 in 4 of those bad hires can cost a company up to $50,000. So not only are you going to create lower productivity through your company, it might also have a monetary detriment as well. So after you've recruited, the next thing you want to do is set goals. So goals are very important. You want to set clear and measurable goals for your employees. Employees need to be challenged. They need to understand how their role affects the larger picture of the business. We all want to feel part of something larger than what we are. And it's important that the goals are written. Written goals create success. Written goals increase motivation and they increase effort because we all have an innate desire to finish and accomplish something. So it's important that these goals are written and again, that they're measurable. After the goals are set, we want to track performance. So this is something that is often missed. Maybe goals are set or guidelines, but then we never do the follow-up after the goals are set. So you want to recognize and reward employees that reach those goals. Now, rewards need to be tied to the company's values. They need to be fair and consistent across the board, and they also need to be something that the employees want. So recognition is those programs are very inexpensive and simple to implement. Small things can really go a long way in making your employees feel valued and appreciated. You want to express appreciation to your employees. You want to provide them encouragement and recognize their value. There have been numerous studies that say the #1 reason that people leave a job is because they do not feel recognized and valued. So once you have all of that in place, the other important piece of this is training. So people join companies because of good managers, and they also leave companies because of bad managers. So when managers are trained and they can set clear and measurable goals for their employees and have successful coaching sessions with those employees on how to reach the goals, they have a more engaged staff. So well-trained managers know how to give good employee feedback, and they know how to help the employee understand where they are against the company's goals and teach them and train them on how to reach those goals. On the other side of that, employees that are well-trained are able to meet the company goals and they feel proficient at their jobs, which means they will probably like doing their job and be happier at work. You're going to have more engaged employees that feel competent to do the job. They're going to be able to feel successful because they can actually do the job. So in general, when you have an employee that is feeling appreciated, they feel well-trained for their job, and they feel like they are respected and valued by that company, they're going to enjoy coming to work every day. They're going to feel valued. You're going to have higher employee engagement. Higher employee engagement is going to lead to higher productivity, and that's also going to lead to more revenue for your business. So if you want to understand how to grow your company's revenues, improve your employee productivity, or if you just need help creating a best places to work type culture, then I can help you with that. So you can reach out to me. And then I'm going to hand it off to Jessica, who's going to discuss training further.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jessica Milazzo. I work for University of Phoenix. And one of the things that I do every day is meet with different employers and business owners and talk with them about their employees and what's going on as far as their education needs. And as Kate mentioned, training and making sure employees feel valued is so important for retention. And I just want to dispel one of the myths out there. A lot of times people think that it's just millennial employees who are job hopping, who are not engaged at work. But according to a Gallup poll, yes, 55% of millennials say that they're not engaged, but 50% of Gen X, 48% of boomers, 41% of traditionalists are all saying they're not engaged at work. So one of the things you can do to help these folks is to provide them education benefits. And before we get into the formal education benefits side of the house, I just want to offer some low-cost options that you may already have that are not super hard to implement, but still fall under the education benefit umbrella. So as Kate mentioned, supporting your employees' goals is so important. But development is not just about developing their time within your company, it's about developing them as a human and what their lifelong goals might be. So it's important to have those regular check-ins, not just annual reviews. It's important to offer them resources about how they can better themselves. You can create a page on your company intranet, share it in your company e-newsletter, and these are things like articles you may have seen on LinkedIn that motivated you. A conference that somebody in your organization might go to, and what are the links that they brought back from that conference. Share those with your employees. You can also create a space where they can link up with universities like mine or other colleges or other networking places in your area. It's just really someplace where they can go and do that research on their own, but still feel like you're taking the time to provide them with something. You could also partner with a company that you're already contracted with. So how many of us have really explored what our Microsoft benefits are? I mean, there's trainings that they offer for free for your employees, or even for you yourself as a leader, that you might not even realize you have access to. And it's really not curriculum you have to create or teach. Microsoft has folks there that will do it for you. So LinkedIn Learning is another opportunity where if that's something your company is already engaged with, you can take a look there as well. Also, providing time for employees to have casual interactions with leadership is really important because it helps them understand what skills and education that leadership had to go through in order to get to the position they are now. So if this is a coffee with the owner, lunch and learns, again, it's another opportunity for your employees to feel engaged and learn about education. A stronger, more investment in education benefits, yes, there is a financial commitment that you need to decide on, but it could be starting out small and saying, we're going to give everybody $500 to take a leadership course, or $500 towards whatever they need. But it's important to meet with several different schools if you are going to consider education benefit programs that are degree specific. So these are just some things to consider: how much you can afford to give, what is the approval process going to be like. So if somebody wants to major in music, for example, that's not really something that's going to bring a lot back to your business. So you want to consider what are the courses that we will cover and will be eligible under our education benefit program. You also want to, again, think about who your education partners are. You do not have to partner with every school that approaches you. If there's a school that has a program that really you're pulling interns from, or you've hired a lot of employees from, partner with that school. Really take a look at which universities and colleges are what their programs look like and what they can offer you. At University of Phoenix, we look at how much is offered in educational tuition assistance, as well as how many employees you have. And then we offer additional benefits on top of that, such as waiving resource fees or doing take 5 classes, get the 6 for free. So really shop around, look at what different universities are offering, and really consider the process of what it's going to look like. You certainly don't want to pay and reimburse someone if they fail a class. So really just take a look. Think about what you can offer, whether it's a low-cost option or something that might take a little more investing. Just know that your employees are shopping around and looking at this, and they're going to really feel more of that investment on your end as in their personal growth and development if you take the time to talk to them about what their educational goals are. So if you want to talk about any more of this, please reach out to me. Thanks.
Thanks, Jessica. And yeah, I mean, what you and Kate just covered is a great just intro, right? A little snack. And so I would encourage those that are watching, please reach out to these two. They're experts in the industry. So if you have any questions about what that means for your organization or what are the options, please do so. We'll go ahead and summarize the contact information as well, or you can just pause the recording and get it. So that was really looking at diving deeper into your existing benefits, or really, you know, maybe expanding them. The other area that we can start to look at is how do you partner with others in, you know, maybe your community that would create special offers for your employers, right? Again, you're trying to highlight your business and make yourself even more attractive so you are the employer of choice. And one of those areas is either, you know, revisiting or seeking out new businesses that you can partner with. And you know, these are ideas, and I've seen these at companies, and some of my customers have these, but it could be car washes or hairstylists. It could be bringing in somebody to do a nutrition program or a workout program on site. It could be even sending them to home if they're doing a lot of work from home, or it could be, you know, doing dog walking or dog care, child care, or even dry cleaning services. Our next speaker is going to be Janelle Kennedy from Alderas, and she's going to share another one of those benefits that you can partner with, and it's a mortgage company.
Yes, I am. Thank you, Kim. I am Janelle. I'm Business Development Officer over at Alderas Mortgage, and we have a home ownership advantage program. Many of you may know the term affinity program, employer assisted housing program. It's the same thing, but with a twist to it. And the twist is that it's at no cost. In the past, we have seen it maybe more utilized in a relocation program type situation where an employee is moving in and there's usually a cost of approximately $5,000 seems to be what the norm is. And what we've done is we put together a package that is an employee benefit program for all of your employees. Number one, it's going to help retain, and it's also going to help attract, which is what we've been talking about here with the other speakers. So this is, you know, purchasing a home is one of the most emotional investments that your employees are going to make. So what we want to do is provide a program that's of value and benefit to your employees when financing needs come up, and to help them achieve their financial goals. So the advantage and the benefit to you as the company is that this is a package that you can provide to the employee at no cost. This is also giving you a dedicated mortgage advisor. We take pride in the advice that we give and giving some direction and education on the buying process. We also have the custom company branded materials. So this would be a white label product. So if we're working with XYZ company, in your employee portal, it's going to have your branding, and it's going to be an option if they have any mortgage questions that it goes directly to us. So it is a dedicated co-branded web page that would be, again, put into your employee portal to make it very low lift, very easy access for them. And again, it is something that is easy for you to implement into your company. Employee benefits. So what does this look like? What we're offering is a mortgage credit, and this is up to $13.95. This is also a personalized annual mortgage review. So what we do on an annual basis with our customers and clients is that we go over that with them. If there's any additional savings we can provide to them during their home ownership, we also want to help them and guide them through that. Borrow education services available. So what we want to do is we want to do first-time home buyer seminar. We want to do low down payment options. We want to talk about all of these things that they may need, that they may feel that they don't know how to obtain, right? A lot of employees feel very intimidated, or they don't know what the process is. They don't know if they could qualify. We want to be there for them during that process to help them understand how they can achieve that. We know that once they do achieve the home ownership, it brings them happiness, it brings them stability, which in turn makes a better employee for you and the company because they're there, they want to, they're invested in that. We also have a free app, and this is going to give them some debt management, maybe create some wealth for them long term. So it gives them a free access to an interactive app that they can put their information in. Kind of gives them an idea on how to save money, maybe how to pay certain things down, how to pay down their debt. And again, that's going to create that happy employee that you really want in your business. So an example of what this looks like kind of give you an example here in a basic home purchase in the current real estate market that we're experiencing, and we know that's always changing. So on an average sale right now, it's a $350,000 home purchase. The loan amount on that would typically be $315,000. So you're looking at that mortgage credit there. And then also an added benefit that we're excited about is that we've partnered up with a real estate agent also in town, and they're giving back a rebate. So this is a percentage of the commission. So on an average sale, you're going to see right there is $4,000, and it actually goes more based on that amount. So there's a huge benefit to this. Again, no cost to you. It's saving the employees money, right? If we've given them $4,000 on the purchase of a home, it's less stress that they feel that they have to come out of pocket for that. And we really want to create that partnership with you, that you are offering this to your employees, and this is the benefit that they get. So if you're interested in finding out how we can implement this into your business, definitely let me know, and we will have a conversation on how we can customize it specifically for your employees.
Thanks, Chanel. This is a national program, correct?
This is a national program, yes. We have rolled this out to some of the locals, and then they obviously have other locations throughout the country, so we have this available to everyone.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so we looked at benefits and options and opportunities for all employees. One area that you may not have thought about or revisited in a while is key employees, and really making sure that we keep those folks there. So our next speaker is going to be a financial services professional, Danae Gilliland, and she is going to share with us about a concept called golden handcuffs, which is making sure that you keep your key employees on board, right? So as a business owner, we want to make sure that our business keeps going. And it's an ongoing entity. So it doesn't matter if you're publicly held or privately held, you need to keep those key people on board. The cost to replace an employee is 2 to 3 times their salary. The cost to replace a leader is more. And because the salaries are more, it's going to cost more in time and dollars to get that person replaced. And so you want to make sure that your company is as profitable and is running as smoothly as possible. And so I'm going to have Danae go ahead and share that information with us today. Now, because of regulations, we're not going to be able to record hers. And so she has her contact information here. I'm going to let her say a couple things. We're going to pause the recording, but she's got great information. So Danae, if you want to say a couple words before we pause the recording.
Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. So again, my name is Danae Gilliland. I am with Capstone Partners, which is a comprehensive financial services firm. And I think after all these discussions, we can agree that employee retention is key for any business. I'm specifically going to be focusing, as Kim said, on retaining those top employees using a concept called golden handcuffs. And golden handcuffs is a deferred compensation plan. The reason why we call it that is because the employee typically forfeits this benefit if they don't fulfill the guidelines that are set out, whether it's employment all the way up to retirement or whatnot. So I'll be talking about this concept. It is a tax deductible product for the employer, and it's a long-term benefit for the employee. So at this point, I'm going to pause. Kim's going to pause the recording, and then my contact information is listed. If you have any additional questions or follow-up, I'd be happy to be a resource for you. Thanks, Kim.
All right, so thanks, Danae, and hopefully those of you will reach out to Danae and make sure that you are locking in those key employees to help secure your business and organization. And the last area we're going to look at is really planning what you need. And what I mean by that is looking at it from a leadership and owner perspective, and so making sure that you have the information that you need to grow your business, and then also looking at it from a strategy or an organizational standpoint from the strategy. I'm Kim D. Snyder, as I mentioned, and I am the owner and founder of Online Marketing in a Box, and we do business growth and strategy. And so when we start looking at how do we use those techniques to retain and attract employees, it actually starts at the pre-recruit stage, and it starts probably a little earlier. And in that area, we look at, making sure, first of all, as a business owner, that you have the support that you need to make sure that you are being exposed to areas of growth, technologies, trends, other industries that are doing well that you can leverage that information. And the way that you're going to get that is with a peer group or a mastermind group and or a coach. And so making sure you as the business owner have that information, because a lot of that is going to drive the business strategy, and it's going to lead that information with you and your team. And so that's where we, at this point, now that you have that background and that information where you want to go and the cool stuff other business owners are doing, let's take that and how do we apply it to your business? So we want to make sure that before you even start recruiting for employees, that you have an overall business strategy, because that's really going to dictate where you're going to take your company in 1, 3, 5, 10 years. And you want to make sure that you have the talent to support that. And so, making sure that your talent is aligned with those objectives. Does it make sense to start hiring in those new people, or does it make more sense to train them, right? So Jessica had a lot of ideas about that. So she would be the one to reach out to talk about specifically, once you have your business strategy and you know where you want to go, somebody like Jessica could help. Also about future skills and innovation, and what type of innovation are you going to be doing? Are you going to be expanding into a brand new area that you really need a new set? Or are you going to really be looking at areas and going deeper? Again, that goes back to your strategy. And then succession planning and risk. So, making sure you have the right insurance, not only for your employees, your key employees, but making sure you have that as a business owner. Making sure you have a succession plan in place. And are you leaving this to your kids? Do you have a partnership and you need to figure out to, get somebody's going to be retiring soon, it depends on the generations of the folks that you have working with you. So getting that all set in place so that when you start recruiting for that talent, you have what you need. Now, believe it or not, your marketing strategy can actually help with that recruiting. And here's how it can help. One, in your marketing information, pictures, videos, you can share what your culture is and how it is. Assuming that that's what you want today. And so, Kate is a person that can help you with your culture, but once you have that in place, you can start sharing that on social media, in your advertisements, any marketing that you're doing, you can share it. And some of the best way to share that marketing is with video marketing. Video is the most powerful way to connect. And another powerful way is having your employees be your advocates. Let them share what's happening at work. So if you want to start sharing some of the things that Kate and even Jessica mentioned, and even Janelle, talk about, hey, you have a mortgage program at work. Like, people would want to come join your company for that. It's just another way for them to keep it. If you're sharing videos and social media events about, performance reviews and how somebody achieved a goal at work and how somebody got their degree or is taking a new class, those are all ways that you're talking about your culture and helps attract the people that you want to recruit in your company. Now, when you get to hiring them, that really falls into the HR talent side. A couple of points here quickly are, within 6 weeks of a hire, a new employee will decide if they made the right decision or not. And a couple of those factors in the decision are, did you onboard them and did you onboard them correctly? And so again, how you onboard them goes back to your strategy, and it's what you want them to know about your culture and how you want them to act and feel. Second way is making sure that your real culture is what's advertised. You don't want to feel like you bait and switched people. You want to make sure that what you're sharing with them through social media, that your HR professionals, is how it is in person. So that's another way that your marketing strategy should tie to your talent strategy. And then finally, we touched on some areas about keeping them, right? So all of us have touched on areas about, keeping them, providing the right benefits, whether it's free or paid or low cost, making sure we have the right culture. And not everybody wants the financial recognition. Sometimes they just want the recognition. And so finding out that retention strategy that works for retaining those employees, and it always varies. It's not the same for all of them. And so if you would like to schedule a call with me to really talk about what this would look like for you, or if you have a blind spot, or if you haven't done a business strategy in a while, let's talk and just, share some thoughts with me. Ask me any questions that you have. Go to onlinemarketinginabox.com/blindspot. You can schedule a quick 15-minute call, and there's no obligation. And let's just talk about what you've got in your organization and make sure that you have everything in place that you need to succeed. So not only from a talent perspective, making sure your marketing and strategy support that. So that's what I have there. Next steps, really, again, here's the review of our speakers. And I'm going to go to our last slide, which is really how do you reach out to everybody here that spoke today, all of our experts. And so we had Kate that was really talking about employee performance and really the people side of it. So anything, I would just encourage you to reach out to her for any type of call. She knows the best practices. She knows what everybody's doing in that industry. So if you're not sure where you're at, if you're not sure how you're ranking, she can definitely help you and share with you that area. Specifically for education and benefits, Jessica is a wealth of knowledge in that area, right? She's at University of Phoenix. Even though she's here in Las Vegas, I'm sure she'll take calls anywhere, from anywhere. She's very passionate about education, and she can help you come up with ideas and, again, share what other companies are doing to fit within your budget and make what makes sense for you and your company where you're at right now. And then Janelle, you can either call or text her. She is always accessible, and her program for mortgages help companies, excuse me, and organizations throughout the U.S. And so please reach out to her if you want a free value add, again, just to set yourself up and make sure you're more competitive and you can retain your employees. And then Danae talked about golden handcuffs, and because of regulations, you couldn't provide a lot of details, but making sure you lock in your leaders to make sure that your company is around. So reach out to her, give her a call on her cell phone, and make sure that you have your leaders locked. Again, she's a wealth of information. She's going to be able to help guide you and give you that information that you need. And then finally, myself, let's make sure you don't have any blind spots in your business. So give me a call. Let's talk about, you know, if you think you have any blind spots, if you're not sure, if you just want a validation check, and that's where we're at. And so before I close out, I'm going to ask any of the speakers if they have anything. Go ahead and unmute for a second. I can't see the screen, so I'll have you guys share, and if not, I'll close it out.
I just wanted to say thank you, Kim, for having us, and thank you everybody for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thank you for our experts. And I want to thank you for listening, and please reach out and please share this with anybody else you think, any other business owners, HR professionals, entrepreneurs, that you think would need this information to make sure that their business is successful. So thank you, and we'll see you online somewhere.